What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a wrestling legend retiring, Dolph Ziggler signs with TNA and why, a WWE commentator taking on a new role, a released WWE star shoots on his latest run, a WWE star says he was going to be paid $1 million per year, CM Punk confirmed for a major PLE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. Now listen to the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at a wrestling legend retiring. Our top story today takes a look at a recent announcement from wrestling legend Sabu, who has now revealed that he is set to retire in the summer of this year. Sabu, who has had notable runs in companies such as ECW and WWE, appeared on Stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw, and the hardcore icon stated that his retirement match is looming and he would love to have it against fellow legend Rob Van Dam. I'm actually hopefully setting up for my final match. I want to do a final match maybe in July or later. It's probably going to be with Van Dam. I heard Van Dam says he wants to have a barbed wire match. To have his last match and my last match be a barbed wire match? I thought, yeah, whatever, that's good. I'd rather just wrestle him in a regular match. I want to have one of my better matches. The barbed wire match, that's a gimmick. I don't really want a gimmick, the gimmick is my final match. Sabu started his wrestling career all the way back in 1985, meaning that if he does indeed retire in the summer of this year, his career would have spanned almost 40 years. What do you guys think of Sabu retiring? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Dolph Ziggler signs with TNA. Why? In the main event of TNA Hard to Kill last night, Moose dethroned Alex Shelley to become the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. After the match, Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, made his TNA debut by confronting the new champion in the ring. This is a huge acquisition for TNA, as Ziggler was a household name in WWE and brings a ton of credibility into the company, as he is a former two-time WWE World Champion. It's currently unknown at this stage why exactly Ziggler is signed with the company, as he stated he wants to work in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and working in TNA wouldn't stop this. Having a regular yet prominent role in TNA would give Ziggler the opportunity to make decent money while still exploring his other ventures. Also at the Hard to Kill event, the artist formerly known as Dana Brooke made her TNA debut. Brooke will now be going by a name Ash by Elegance, and she was seen in the front row watching the Knockouts title showdown. Not only that, but Top Dollar made his debut in TNA as well. It was also reported that Sasha Banks and Bayley were in the balcony watching the show, kinda incognito, but it's great to see two major names within the wrestling industry taking an interest in TNA's latest offering. Next up, a WWE commentator taking on a new role. Corey Graves has worn several different hats during his time in WWE, and now the former NXT Tag Team Champion is unofficially working in a production role backstage. Speaking to Sportskeeda, Graves revealed, "I've kind of unofficially taken on some responsibilities in the television studio, and then as far as producing little bits and pieces, and I don't have an official role of doing anything of that, but I kind of get to lend my expertise, if you want to call it that, or opinion at least, on a lot of different things, so it's really cool to be able to learn that side of the business." Graves has previously stated that he's been medically cleared to compete again, and fans continue to fantasy book the popular commentator as a surprise in the Royal Rumble each year. Next up, a released WWE star shoots on his latest run. The Hero member Top Dollar was released from his WWE contract last year, and Dollar recently appeared on Busted Open Radio to discuss what went wrong with his second run in the company. Dollar had an interesting yet mature take on the matter, and this is what he had to say. "Yeah, I feel like the main difference is Hunter always had a lot of respect for me and we were cool. Paul Heyman is one of my biggest supporters. I don't know how to say it other than like, sometimes I just never felt welcome. Like any other talent would be in Gorilla, like I would go in Gorilla and watch people's matches, and I would watch the dark matches, and I would watch during the show, and I just didn't feel like I was supposed to be there." The former WWE star continued by saying, "I would show up every Friday to SmackDown and would even get in the ring. Even if I was by myself, I would literally run spots with a ghost. There's plenty of people that will at least test to this. I would get in there with Regal. I would get in there with anybody that wanted to get in there with me. I did everything I could on dark matches to get the crowd going. Every time we did a dark match, they let us cut a promo. The crowd hated our guts. The babyface came out, the babyfaces got cheered. The babyface got over. It started the show off on the right foot. It happened every time. It happened in every country we went to, and it's like, I don't know, the thing is just I genuinely feel like they didn't have a plan for Hit Row." Top Dollar remains involved in the wrestling business as he produced the official music video for TNA Hard to Kill live event and then appeared on the show last night, heavily implying that he's now part of the roster. Next up, a former WWE manager buries a new stable. Carrying Cross's new stable, The Final Testament, has been the talk of the wrestling world this past week, but one wrestling personality who isn't a fan is former WWE manager Zeb Coulter. Speaking about Cross and his stable on Smack Talk, he stated, "I'm not changing my attitude on him, that being Cross. It's dead on arrival. The people are just not responding to him because there's nothing to respond to. I mean, if he's gonna do anything, he needs to do something to somebody that gives fans a shit about him. Going in there, I don't think the Street Profits, I don't think nobody really cares about them." Whilst his take on the matter does seem a little dramatic, a lot of fans are seeing this latest push for Cross as his last chance to make an impression on the main roster. Cross has been given notable feuds with various top names, and it could be argued that none of them are connected with the audience, so the Final Testament faction has to work in order for Cross to keep his place on the card. What are your guys' thoughts on the new stable? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Jack Perry resurfaces in New Japan Pro Wrestling. At long last, the controversial Jack Perry has resurfaced, however, Perry hasn't resurfaced in AEW. In a shocking twist, he's now part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster. He appeared at last night's New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley by jumping the rail, tearing up his AEW contract, and putting on an armband which simply stated "Scapegoat." It's unknown whether this means Perry's time in AEW has come to an end, or Perry and AEW are simply working an angle. Next up, a WWE star says he was going to be paid $1 million per year. Since his WWE non-compete clause expired, Matt Riddle has participated in several interviews, and in these interviews, he's made numerous outlandish claims. Riddle's latest claim on the Kurt Angle show was that the WWE were going to increase his salary to $1 million a year, and he also stated that he believes that the WWE-UFC merger was a definitive factor in being released from the company. I think that definitely didn't help things. Me and Dana White don't have the greatest relationship, and I know he's definitely a big part of that. It definitely played a part. Also, I know that they're making budget cuts regardless, and I was getting paid quite a pretty penny. I don't know if it was right before RK Bro or right after that. Laurinaitis pulled me into the office. I thought I was in trouble. I didn't get my vaccine yet, and I went in there and they were like, "Hey, we want to give you a raise." And they gave me a substantial raise. It increased every year, and this year I was going to get paid $1 million a year. I was at $750. I mean, last year I cleared my bucket. I did extremely well. I think that was a big contributing factor. I was going to get paid $1 million starting next year, but I also think, the merger didn't help, and then also my behavior didn't help either. Next up, CM Punk confirmed for a major PLE. And last but not least, some exciting news to close out today's video, as last night it was reported and confirmed that former WWE Champion CM Punk will be indeed working the Elimination Chamber show in Australia next month. Fox Sports were the first to break the exciting news, as CM Punk is back, and now he's back down under. For the first time in over a decade, the WWE Great will wrestle in Australia, with Fox Sports Australia exclusively able to reveal CM Punk will feature at Perth's Elimination Chamber show next month. Punk made his long-awaited return to the company at November's Survivor Series after a controversial stint away from WWE. The news was subsequently confirmed by WWE, and now there's a debate as to who should face Punk in his first singles match on pay-per-view since 2013. The logical approach would be Drew McIntyre, as Punk had already had a heated confrontation with McIntyre this past week on Raw. As things stand, Punk is the current favourite to win the Royal Rumble in 2 weeks. However, the Fox Sports report doesn't speculate that Punk may enter the Elimination Chamber matchup. While it's unclear what exactly Punk will be doing in Perth, he could feature in the headline Elimination Chamber match, potentially aiming for a shot at Rollins' championship at WrestleMania 40. Elimination Chamber takes place on February 24th from the Optus Stadium in Perth. Who do you guys think CM Punk should face? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.